UBC, inspiring Uganda. Brought to you by
Youth, elderly, and persons with disabilities. It's time to choose our leaders. Let's show up and participate in the special interest group elections. Starting June through August this year. Your vote, your voice. My vote, my voice. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Electoral Commission.
Very good evening to you tuned into UBC TV. Welcome to News Tonight. This Tuesday, the 23rd of September 2025. Let's start with a look at the top stories.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
The Electoral Commission nominates 3 presidential candidates on their first day of the exercise. NRM's Yoweri Museveni nominated to contest in the 2026 presidential elections. UBC, the national broadcaster, boasts fleet ahead of the 2026 elections, while Hoima International Stadium at 95 completion to host AFCON 2027.
Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Thank you so much for tuning in and welcome to News Tonight. My name is Micheal Lukomwa. Elizabeth Nakakon joins in for sign language interpretation. President Yoweri Museveni Tibuhaburwa has officially been nominated to contest in the 2026 presidential elections. The nomination ceremony at the Electoral Commission headquarters in Lukomwa, Wakiso district, drew thousands of supporters and senior NRM officials. Museveni promised more economic progress for the country, currently considered a low-middle income economy.
The air was thick across Lukomwa as President Museveni arrived. Flanked by First Lady Janet Museveni and top NRM officials, it was exactly 10 a.m. at the Electoral Commission headquarters.
Therefore, I, Justice Byabakama Mugenyi Simon, being the returning officer for the nomination of presidential candidates, declare Museveni Yoweri Tibuhaburwa Kaguta a duly nominated candidate in respect of the presidential elections 2026. He having fulfilled the nomination requirements under the Presidential Elections Act, Chapter 179.
Museveni would conduct a post-nomination address to the press, striking a tone of resolve and ambition. He outlined a campaign anchored on consolidating Uganda's economic gains and propelling the country into a high middle income status.
In this Sanja, which you are now concluding, If you check the figures, the GDP of Uganda has doubled, apparently. I had not bothered to check that, but they pointed it out. That at the end of the last Sanja, we were like 34 billion. We are now 66 billion. It's really, I don't know why NRM doesn't talk more about some of these things, because they are really remarkable. To double the size of GDP in one term is not a mean achievement.
Uganda's economic transformation has been driven by strategic investments in infrastructure, agriculture, ICT, and manufacturing. The country's GDP, once at $3.9 billion in 1986, now stands at $61 billion by exchange rate and $170 billion by purchasing power parity. Museveni is optimistic. The peace, investor confidence, and deliberate government-led initiatives will propel the country further.
You Gen Z people, these are Gen Z, Gen Z. The Gen Z is my comrades, my supporters. You should see that picture of 1986 here. This was a coffee shamba here. That's why they call it Boa Estate. It was a coffee shamba owned by a British company called Micheal. Now when you come here, it's amazing. If you, all the way you can see. A satellite picture of 1986 and now would speak many words rather than just talking. And the whole of, if you want to show the whole of Kampala, 1986 from the satellite and now, just the picture. So where we are moving to now is to, again, convince the people of Uganda of what has been achieved in the past and what we are planning to do now.
But the road to transformation has not been without friction. Addressing the ongoing teachers' strike, Museveni made a direct appeal.
I am a person of arts, literature. I am a man of literature. I can quote for you Shakespeare, what Shakespeare said and all that. But when there is a problem on the road, I can't help you. So we are saying, Banangi, let's start with the scientists, because they are fewer, but they are needed immediately. Later on, we shall go to the arts. For them, they say, no, if we all don't get, nobody gets. Now, that's what we cannot accept. That is so much selfishness, where you say, if I don't get, nobody else gets.
The former NRM National Vice Chairperson for Central Uganda, Godfrey Kiwandasubi, concurs with President Museveni.
When he says we need science teachers, we need to promote them so that we can emphasize science even to the young ones. But there are those, even if you emphasize this, they may not be able to make it. So I think in this next term, the president will be able to see how we can also uplift the standards of the science, of the arts teachers.
With Museveni successfully nominated, it is not a question of if or when, but whether the NRM party will reclaim the presidential seat. Party diehards are hopeful and confident.
When you have a good candidate, you have a team that has been built, you have a message, because people don't vote for Wolokoso. People vote for a message. And finally, you have a strategy to deliver the message, the strategy to deliver the message to the populace, and the strategy to make sure that at least everyone gets involved. You are home and dry.
President Museveni's nomination sets the stage for what promises to be a fiercely contested election, with economic milestones and political legacy at the heart of his campaign. The road to January 2026 is paved with both promise and scrutiny. Henry Okrut, UBC.
The presidential flag bearer Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has warned landowners against evicting Bibanja holders, stressing that there are clear presidential directives and laws that protect them. He was addressing a press conference shortly after Electoral Commission nominated him NRM presidential candidate for 2026 elections. Museveni condemned resident district commissioners for standing by while Ugandans are being forcefully evicted from their Bibanja.
That Bibanja holders cannot be arbitrarily evicted and that Busulu must be charged within reasonable limits.
Tugetaka eryaja luvanyuma twalemerawo ne tugamba nti ow'ekibanja talina kugobebwa ate obusuulu bulina okubeerako ekikomo. Kati abo bonna bye bakola bimenya amateeka. Tokirizibwa kugoba ow'ekibanja, tokirizibwa kumutemako ekitundu ky'ekibanja kye, ate obusuulu buliko ekikomo. Ate government Minister of Lands yabukiriza si bw'amaanyi ab'amataka b'emulugunya olwo ne bagamba nti siringi 10,000 lwokka olwaliwo mu budde obwo nti kirina amakulu. Ne mbagamba nti mulaba abaserikale bankubira salute eriko sente meka. Obusuulu obwo salute yokka nti sebe nkutegedde. Olusalo olwo twalwana ne tulwangula. Awo wenenyeza ba RDCs bange tebandikiriza ekyo kubeerawo kubanga ebiragiro tebikiriza omuntu yenna kugoba ow'ekibanja oba okumutemako ekibanja ekyo. Olusalo olwo twalwangula dda mu biragiro.
He assured Ugandans that the NRM government has put in place laws to protect Bibanja holders, but admitted that implementation has remained a challenge. Museveni emphasized that there are presidential directives and laws that protect Bibanja holders.
Ow'ettaka takkirizibwa kugoba ow'ekibanja babikola mu bumenyi bw'amateeka. And because kati kyemukola mulonda ababaka ba NRM kubanga abo abasirikire byambiyoni ebyo buwekenenya ogenda kusanga bano bemwaleeta abalala abali ku byabwe. Ate ne bwe twali tulwana mu by'ettaka baali batuwakanya, baali tebaagala kulwana kuwa ekibanja, ffe tulemera kuwa ekibanja. Soma ekiragiro ky'ettaka nga bwe kiri tekikiriza.
Museveni urged Ugandans to vote for the NRM and elect NRM members of parliament to strengthen the protection of land rights and ensure fair governance.
Banambozi bali babalimba wano bewagamba nti ettaka lya Buganda lyabasenze siri abamayiro bokka. So the issue is implementation, not the law, because we handled it.
Presidential candidates Mabirizi Joseph and Robert Kasibante, after their nomination, also lamented the persistent land issues affecting Ugandans.
Making sure nti amataka ba Peasants abali wansi eyo bafuna amataka gaabwe nga tebagababyeko abagagga. In fact, twagala nnyo okumakinga sure nti tujjawo ne ownership y'amataka kubanga kye kisinza okuleeta obuzibu bwonna. Naye byebyo ebimu ku byo
the people who sold their land and bought borders.
Joseph Chigozigola and Jamil Sekaja for UBC.
President Yoweri Museveni has reaffirmed that if given another mandate of 5 years as president of Uganda, he will carry forward the wealth creation interventions. Addressing his first public rally at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds shortly after nominations, Museveni has announced the introduction of a shillings 15 million fund for leaders at parish levels, as well as that for unemployed graduates and religious leaders.
support and urge all Ugandans to support Museveni, so we give him 98%.
Members of the Patriotic League of Uganda gathered early at their offices in Naguru, Kampala to walk to Kololo ceremonial grounds. They were led by the Director of Mobilization, Micheal Mawanda.
Because we have been directed to support General Museveni, we want to show him the love and the commitment, and at this time around, we want him to get 80%.
The PLA members were joining the thousands of NRM supporters to celebrate the nomination of President Museveni at Kololo. At Kololo, different artists and entertainers were invited to light up the event. In the afternoon, President Museveni, who was nominated early in the day in the company of First Lady Jane Kataha Museveni, arrived at Kololo Independence grounds.
So I would like to appeal to all Ugandans who love peace and security, who love development, who love socio-economic transformation of their country, to support His Excellency the President.
Shortly after the prayer, the nominators and seconders of President Museveni were given an opportunity to support their choice.
We have worked quite closely together in many ventures. He is somebody who is committed as a Ugandan and as a Pan-African.
Your Excellency, this nomination is a reaffirmation that the covenant between you and our people of Uganda still stands.
Before the address of the NRM Secretary General Richard Odong, Patriotic League of Uganda National Vice Chairperson Michael Nwagira was called to commit to the cause.
I take this opportunity to call upon all members of PROU that we are ready to support President Museveni and all NRM flag bearers.
You have to move house to house, door to door, stage to stage, person to person, to look for vote for the President and for all other flag bearers.
Other speeches came from the second National Vice Chairperson, female rights, Honorable Anita Mong, and the first National Vice Chairperson, Alhaji Moses Chigongo.
Today, we are opening up a new chapter, which the President is going to talk about.
I want to thank you for transforming this country from instability to stability.
And hereafter, the day's holder, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, addressed the gathering.
I also thank you, all of you, for turning up in such big numbers for this rally.
Addressing the fully packed Kololo grounds, Museveni has called on the remaining 33% of Ugandans still living under the subsistence farming to rise up and take wealth creation.
68% were outside, not engaged in production of wealth creation form of money. I'm glad that with the efforts we have done, that figure has now gone down.
And with the above interventions, according to the President, there is no doubt that the future is bright. He further notes that this will go on in the coming term of office. Museveni says if given the mandate, they will initiate a 15 million fund for parishes, and this will specifically go to the leaders.
So therefore, when we say we protect the gains, but also make a qualitative leap forward, that's what we are talking about.
The fishing community will also smile. With sectors like those of the boda industry, ghettos and others already eating big from government, Museveni has promised to revive his agitation for a fund targeting unemployed university graduates who have finished 2 years at home.
Activated the fund of the skilling hubs.
For religious leaders, Museveni says they will not be left out.
With religious leaders and cultural leaders, they also need their own funds.
Away from wealth creation, Museveni is also thinking big for the general public.
UBC News tonight. Education in Uganda has seen remarkable growth over the past 4 decades under the NRM, but challenges remain. At today's nomination rally at Kololo, First Lady Janet Museveni highlighted the strides made in schools across the country, while also acknowledging communities that still lack access to education.
Answer the question which was asked at the Electoral Commission's press briefing of the President on education.
Mama aina ensonga gyagenda okuddamu ku byenjigiriza.
But I wanted to give you a background.
Naye kasooke atunnyonnyole kwe kiva.
I want you to understand, because the journalist there said that some of the children still study under the trees.
Kubanga waliwo munnamawulire abuuzizza ekibuuzo eri mu kwewandiisa nti wakyaliwo abaana abasomera wansi w'emiti.
And I wanted to take you back and remind you about the population of Uganda in 1986.
Mama ayagala atuzzeeko emabega atujjukize bu Uganda mu 86 twali abantu bameka.
In 1986, the population of Uganda was only 14 million people.
Mu 1986 mu Uganda twali abantu obukadde 14 bwokka.
And now, 2024, we had the population census, and it was 46 million people in Uganda.
Kati mu 2024 bwe twamala okubala abantu okwa bonna twakisanga nga tuli abantu obukadde 46.
That therefore means that the children also are more than the children we had in 1986.
Ekyo kiba kitegeeza nti n'abaana be tulina kati bangi okusinga abo abaaliwo mu 1986.
The number of districts in 1986 were 33 districts.
Mu 1986 twalina districts 33.
The districts now are 135 in 2025.
Kati tulina districts
135.
Tulina districts 135.
Okay, so the primary schools that we had in 1986 were 5,320.
Mu 1986 twalina amasomero ga primary 5,320.
In 2025, we have 12,000 schools, 549.
Mu mwaka guno tulina amasomero ga primary 1,249.
At the time when we started UPE, we had only 6,880 primary schools.
We twatandikira bonna basome twalina amasomero
6,880.
Kakaga mulunana muchinana.
And now, let's see. We have sorry? Go there and say it. But in secondary schools, what I'm driving at is to show you why we have some children who still have no schools.
Mama kyatulaga kwe kutunyonnyola lwaki tulina abaana abasomera miti.
Because now, as I have just said, we have 12,549 primary schools.
Tulina amasomero omutwalo gumu 2,205 mwana mwenda.
But we still have some children who do not have schools. I do not doubt that.
Abatalina masomero.
I do not doubt that.
Ekyo takibuusabuusa.
So in secondary schools, we had 459 government schools in 1986.
Mu 1986 twalina amasomero ga senior 459.
But now we have 1,524.
Kati tulina 1,524.
And I can go on, but I wanted to first show you
Lady Janet Museveni making a highlight about education status in Uganda at Kololo Independence Grounds. Now, by 7 a.m., hundreds of NRM supporters had already gathered along major roads leading to the Electoral Commission offices in Rweza to witness the nomination of their candidate. Across the streets of Bwais, Wandege and the Northern Vipers, crowds were seen chanting NRM songs. Muyingo Joseph, our reporter, was on the ground and he captured these scenes.
Here at Loboa, as nomination has been taking place, we thank God that nomination has been concluded successfully. The Electoral Commission has confirmed President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is the sole candidate for NRM for this term 2026-2031. We are happy, very happy. We thank God.
I'm Yoweri Kaguta President Museveni for nomination here at Rweza Conference Center.
Lwalero nzize wano okunominatinga His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni kubanga yasobola eggwanga lino alijje wala.
Muzeyi Museveni Muzeyi saba wangale Muzeyi baby face tajja musinga tajja mukira Muzeyi tata tadda mu kwesimbawo tula butuuzi.
Of the National Peasants Party plans a special National Executive Committee to evaluate the action of the party president, Stesha Mayanja, who appeared performing again at the NRM rally over the weekend. In preparation for the nomination as the party presidential flag bearer, Robert Kasibante elaborated on the act of the party president undermining the party principles. Meanwhile, Kasibante has been nominated to contest in the forthcoming presidential elections.
Before leaving to Rweza for nomination, the presidential flag bearer for the National Peasants Party, Robert Kasibante, addressed the media on the incident of the party president, Stesha Mayanja, who appeared performing at the National Resistance Movement rally over the weekend. The party will convene an extraordinary National Executive Committee to evaluate and the action to be taken.
We are going to invite the president. We shall hear her side of the story, and we shall come up with a decision as a party, as the organ. We can't pronounce a decision now because of just a mere small mistake. We have other serious businesses of this country. So we think we had to concentrate first on nomination After nomination, we are going to cause the National Executive Committee soon. National Committee will come up with a resolution on that effect.
Kasibante has demystified allegations of being bankrolled by the NRM government to participate in these elections.
That is how the regime make the propagandism. You know propagandism. They always move around telling people that the government has sponsored, but that is because of fear. Now they are fearing. They know what we are going to do because we know what Ugandans want, and we are ready.
National Peasant Party narrates challenges faced during the preparation of their presidential candidate. They confirm availability of resources to take them through the campaign process.
We are supposed to be here in Makerere Kavule. You know Makerere Kavule. But they said, the Katanga playground. But they said now, for us, the Electoral Commission guided us. You are not supposed to have the rally today. You just have to go, and then after you make a press conference. Then I was asking, why is Museveni going to Kololo to make a rally? Is this special from us? Then they are saying that one is a president.
Kasibante pledged to the people of Uganda of good governance and other social services.
We are going to talk about free education. We are going to talk about agriculture, the support in agriculture. Look around the hospital. We are going to support the hospitals to make sure that we get our people, the peasants, get free health system and free education system, such that we take the country forward.
Upon successful nomination as National Peasants Party, Robert Kasibante, on behalf of the party, intend to convene and present the manifesto to the public. Abdul Nasir Lukomwa and Rogers Komagum for UBC.
That's the National Peasants Party presidential candidate, Robert Kasibante, and he was the second to be nominated this Tuesday at 3 p.m. Kasibante says that once elected president, he will increase the budget for agriculture and focus on federal governance.
National Peasants Party presidential candidate Robert Kasibante arrived at EC offices at 2 p.m.
Him to this very important.
Clad in black suit, white shirt and red necktie, Kasibante and his supporters was nominated at 3 p.m.
I, Justice Byabakama Mugenyi Simon, being the returning officer for the nomination of presidential candidates, declare Kasibante Robert a duly nominated candidate in respect of the presidential elections 2026.
Kasibante was, after nomination, handed a security lead car with 16 security guards for his protection during campaigns.
As a car commander who will need to list how many personnel? 5 personnel, including the car commander.
Speaking to the media after the nominations, he says mechanization of agriculture will be his priority when he takes over government.
This campaign is not built on promises. It is built on purpose. It is time for a government that understands your struggle. Not for reports in the air, conditioned officers, but from lived experience. I was raised among you. I have walked the footpath, shared meals of cassava and beans.
He says a federal system of government where every level of government have their own distinct powers and responsibilities will also be on his agenda.
We must restore dignity to labor. The farmers in Masaka, the teachers in Chivale, the nuns in Amuria, and the border riders in Imbali deserves a future that works for all, not just the connected few.
Philip Aguta for UBC News in Kampala.
Yes, we thank you so much for watching. That is the National Peasants Party's presidential candidate, Kasibante. Now, the Electoral Commission has nominated Elton Joseph Mabirizi, the presidential flag bearer for the Conservative Party, and declared him a presidential candidate for the 2026 general elections. The chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Justice Simon Byabakama, said that his documents conform to the Presidential Elections Act.
By 10 a.m., the process to nominate presidential aspirants had started, with President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni successfully undergoing the process and being duly nominated as presidential candidate for 2026 by the Electoral Commission chairperson, Justice Simon Byabakama. Museveni was later given a security vehicle and thereafter...
Presidential flag bearer Conservative Party Elton Joseph Mabirizi arrived at the EC headquarters in Rweza by midday Tuesday. Later, Electoral Commission's legal department and the commissioners scrutinized his documents. He was sent back.
So we've guided him to go back and sort out that issue. Once it is sorted, he's at liberty to come, and we shall afford him another opportunity to try and get nominated.
The chairperson, Electoral Commission, Simon Byabakama, said his academic documents did not conform with the law.
Discovered there was an issue that did not come out clearly to conform to the law.
Mabirizi moved out disappointed, however said he was going straight to the National Council for Education to certify his papers. At 2:30, Elton Mabirizi returned to Rweza to be nominated, and after scrutinizing his documents, the returning officer Simon Byabakama declared him duly nominated presidential candidate.
Other matters were satisfied all the other requirements under the law. For that matter, I, Justice Byabakama Simon, being the returning officer of the nomination presidential candidates, declare Mabirizi Joseph as a duly nominated candidate.
Mabirizi was told to avail the commission with a copy of his campaign meetings and also sign an MOU with EC on the harmonized campaign program. Under the Presidential Elections Act, Mabirizi was availed all-round security with vehicles and personnel. After duly being nominated, candidate Mabirizi said his party stands for federalism. However, emphasized that in his first 100 days, he will make sure that all political prisoners are released.
Can resolve. Federal can solve all the problems of Uganda. Sharing roles and responsibilities, that is the way to go.
Mabirizi says he did not go through during the 2016 elections because of limited time, and in the 2021 he was busy sensitizing people how to protect the constitution.
The years, skipping 2021 not to stand for president. I had to go to villages, to different parts of Uganda, to all districts, building capacity so that Ugandans can raise and fight any person who is against the constitutional rights.
I'm Nafka Farida in Rweza.
Those are the three candidates: Yoweri Museveni of the NRM, Peasant Party's Kasibante, and the Conservative Party's Elton Joseph Mabirizi. Now, the Electoral Commission successfully nominated the three on their first day of the nomination exercise. Chairperson Justice Simon Byabakama said that the process has been peaceful and a successful one. Yoweri Museveni, Elton Mabirizi, and Robert Kasibante are now officially presidential candidates. The trio have been provided with security vehicles as part of the standard protocol. As Ivan Kahwa now reports, Nandala Mafabi and Chagulanyi Sentamu Robert, that is FDC and the NUP respectively, are scheduled for nomination, and that will be tomorrow.
By 10 a.m., the process to nominate presidential aspirants had started, with President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni successfully undergoing the process and being duly nominated as presidential candidate for 2026 by the Electoral Commission chairperson, Justice Simon Byabakama. Museveni was later given a security vehicle and thereafter addressed the nation. He emphasized that the security agencies must bring criminals to account.
Then crime. There is peace in the country. There is no war. The army cannot allow that. But there is a bit of crime and impunity. Criminals who are not handled because of some corruption among the people involved. The NRM structures need to come out and help expose crime and hold accountable all the criminals. And then getting rid of corruption. These ones will help all our people to enjoy the transformation going on in Uganda.
According to the Electoral Commission, 25 observers were accredited for the exercise, and they are here to document the good, the bad, and the ugly, and will later give recommendations for future reference.
We make a report, and we have plenary in National Consultative Forum. Then from there, we make recommendations, sent to Electoral Commission, sent to Minister of Justice, who is our line minister.
So far, so good. Electoral Commission has done a great work. The environment is so peaceful, and we really appreciate the first candidate who has come in, and I think he has also appreciated the work of the Electoral Commission.
The Electoral Commission has successfully nominated 3 candidates on day 1, and the Electoral Commission chairperson confirms that the exercise has moved on smoothly.
So the Commission is prepared to be as flexible as possible within the parameters of the law, to enable all those who qualify to get nominated to be nominated. As to whether that will necessitate or require an extension of the period, we can only cross that bridge when we get there.
Now 2 aspirants are lined up for the nomination on the 24th of September 2025. These include Nandala Mafabi of the Forum for Democratic Change, Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu of the National Unity Platform, but verification of signatures is still ongoing. Campaigns for presidential candidates begin on the 29th of September 2025. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News.
Big thing about the MTN Super. Wali yakapia musite wali yakapia. MTN kabo de super mustairompia. Then you kabo de smartphone nebi akabibiona. MTN kabo de super mustairompia. Then you kabo de smartphone nebi akabibiona.
Get the new Kabode Super smartphone and enjoy 16 GB free. Start with a deposit of only 45,000 Uganda shillings and pay the rest in daily installments of less than 1K. You can also make weekly and monthly installments. Together, our vibes are unstoppable. Terms and conditions apply. MTN. MTN is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
At UNOC, we believe in safety.
Revered as the patrons of the wild, my horn stood tall, announcing my presence among Africa's Big Five. yet, with all my strength, I struggled to survive. Then Uganda Wildlife Authority gave us something, a safe home at the Ziwa Rhino Sanctuary. And here we began to thrive again. Today, we are 48 members strong, with 17 cows, ready to take our unique story into the future. This is your lifetime opportunity to name a rhino, and with it, find the conservation efforts that keep our story alive. For more information, visit our website, www.ugandawildlifeauthority.org.
No matter how far we go, home is always in our hearts, but support shouldn't come with struggle. With Wendy Mobile Wallet and Western Union, money now moves in real time from around the world straight to your pocket.
UBC News Tonight. Welcome back from the break, and thank you so much for watching. Uganda's political season enters a new chapter today as President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and two other contenders were fully officially nominated to vie for the country's top seats in the upcoming presidential elections. But beyond the politics, it was the sights, sounds, and even the dress code that painted the vivid picture of a historic day.
At Lweza nomination grounds, the atmosphere was one of color, culture, and Kasha celebration. President Yoweri Museveni, the incumbent seeking another term, arrived to a carefully coordinated welcome. Dressed in his trademark light-colored safari hat and crisp yellow shirt, the National Resistance Movement signature color, President Museveni's attire symbolized continuity and party identity. He was welcomed by NRM dignitaries clad in a bright yellow shirts and dresses, their attire matching the festive yellow decor that draped the venue. Adding a touch of elegance, the First Lady Janet Museveni wore a graceful floral yellow dress, blending tradition with understated sophistication. But the day was not just Museveni's alone. Joseph Elton Mabirizi, representing the Conservative Party, entered the grounds in a white Toyota Noah, the party's flag proudly fluttering at the front. After official nomination, he was granted a government escort vehicle and bodyguards as per protocol. From the Peasants Party, Robert Kasibante arrived in the formal suit, projecting a calm and composed image. While his entry lacked the fanfare of the larger parties, it added the diversity of the body's political display. The campaigns officially begin next week, with each candidate now racing to capture the hearts and the votes of millions of Ugandans. Sada Mubale, UBC News, Kampala.
The Conservative Party supporters have urged Elton Joseph Mabirizi, their presidential candidate, to prioritize environment, conservation, and foster federal systems in Uganda as the key mandate ahead of the 2026 general election. Speaking, these supporters were leading Mabirizi at the Electoral Commission in Lweza to be nominated as the party presidential candidate in the next coming 2026 polls.
Elton Joseph Mabirizi is one of the presidential candidates that have appeared before the Electoral Commission to be nominated to contest as the next president. Mabirizi and his family members and a few supporters gathered at Elton Brilliant Schools in Zana, where they conducted preparations ahead of his official nomination at Lweza.
We have sent President Elton Engineer Joseph Mabirizi to represent Conservative Party.
Mukusooka mwami Mabirizi nga yesimbawo tesasooka kumwagala olw'ensonga nti nasooka n'ekirowoozo ba Mr. Mabirizi ono yandibanga kugamba azannyamu buzannyi.
However, supporters urged Mabirizi to prioritize environment conservation, introduce federal system across regions of Uganda, and fight corruption.
protecting the environment and fighting corruption, they go together. The second theme mandate we are giving to Engineer Elton Joseph Mabirizi is federalism. Putting power in federal regions.
The family and close friends seemed ready to support him as the next president.
The preparation is we are going to hold a rally or welcoming. A rally may be refused by security, but they call it artisana there in the football pitch. And we shall plant some trees as a symbol that our theme is to protect Mother Earth on which we all depend.
The Uganda People's Congress has threatened to petition courts to seek legal redress on the move by the Electoral Commission to object the party from contesting in the presidential race. The party was informed by EC Chairperson Justice Simon Byabakama that the commission could not recognize Jimmy Akena as the UPC flag bearer. This has been contested by presidential hopeful Jimmy Akena, who is to petition the judiciary. Akena cites abuse of the constitutional rights by the Electoral Commission. Few months back, controversy ate up UPC by UPC party. Akena was accused of flouting party constitution. Akena has since faced huge barriers in drawing the line between his leadership in the UPC and the party constitution, which literally locks him out. Some members of parliament under the UPC expressed mixed reactions as the Electoral Commission is proceeding with nominations of presidential candidates without their own presidential flag bearer.
From the onset, I want to reject the decision of Honorable Justice Byabakama Mujeni Simon to deny the Uganda People's Congress its constitutional right to present a presidential candidate in the upcoming elections. The right to contest in an election is a constitutional right that should not be subject to the discretion of the Electoral Commission. I therefore take it that the decision of the Independent Electoral Commission was unfair, intended not only to undermine the sanctity of our Constitution of Uganda, but also to subvert the Uganda People's Congress and its constitutional right to participate in a general elections with a presidential candidate. How is it now in 2025 overreach? One candidate being disqualified. This candidate has prepared for this day. 20 years in parliament, honing the skills. Been in politics long before. How many opportunities do you get to stand as a member or as a presidential candidate? It comes once in a lifetime. I was supposed to be presenting my manifesto today. We had scheduled a nomination today, and I was going to present a manifesto to the people of Uganda. I am still going to present this manifesto. But I want to distinguish, this manifesto is not a wish list, it's not just a talking thing. This is a manifesto which touches on the needs of the people of Uganda, which touches on the desires of the people of Uganda, and which touches on the future of the people of Uganda. When I unveil this manifesto and the campaign, then some people will begin to realize why it is that there are those who do not want Jimmy Akena on the ballot. As Jimmy Akena, I've always talked on issues. For me, this campaign is about issues.
The decision the Electoral Commission took offends the rule on sub judice. Once a matter between parties is filed before the courts of law, all administrative tribunals are stopped. They are not allowed to make decisions. The UPC is not the only political party in this country having internal disagreements. There are some political parties that even its very existence is being questioned in court, but their flag bearers have been cleared for nomination. No one can question the existence of UPC. In fact, many of them out there were nurtured. They were raised by UPC. So we are telling them, we are telling the Electoral Commission, and this is a point that I think we need to take serious, that the chairman of the Electoral Commission, who is a distinguished judge, I think missed sitting on the bench to give decisions. When he made that judgment, that ruling, I think he had forgotten that he was a chairman of the Independent Electoral Commission and not a judicial officer. He should clearly choose where to sit, because this matter was not a matter that he should have entertained.
The national broadcaster has acquired 3 brand new 2025 GWM pickups to improve transport and strengthen capacity for the nationwide coverage of the upcoming general elections.
Up for the 2026 presidential elections, we are definitely going to hit the road running, and we shall cover all the candidates.
The new vehicles mark a turning point in addressing transport challenges that have previously hindered timely news coverage. They will come in handy during this electioneering season, says Winston Agaba, the UBC Managing Director.
Yeah, we are prepared to making sure that the elections, upcoming elections, and following up all the candidates 2025-26 election. This is just part of the government support to UBC. We want to thank government. Transport-wise, we have been struggling with these 2 pickups, and we're expecting some more. We should be able to traverse the whole country, and we want to thank the providers of the car. High-tech, new technology, efficiency is high, so we are excited. We're excited, and viewers, listeners, just stay tuned to UBC, and we shall be bringing you all the updates and whatever is out there by all the candidates.
We hope to buy more cars going forward. Next quarter, we are underway because we need to cover all parts of the country. As UBC, our fleet requirements are many. You realize we have to cover 130 districts. And out of the 11 radio stations we have and 40 stations, you realize our fleet capacity is supposed to be at 30 motor vehicles and maybe 15 motorcycles, but with this new boost, we hope to do our best.
The Chinese manufactured vehicles were supplied by WQ, represented by Daniel Obala.
Most of the times we are known for Sinotrax, but now we have entered the passenger vehicle market. We have brought to you pickups, SUVs, and station wagons, and also vans. These pickups that we have delivered today, UBC, we basically want to promote the state of the art also in the automotive industry. We want to see that many business people are using vehicles that consume less, number one. Then number two, there is return on investment. And then besides that, we are trying to see that our competitors in the market, sorry to say this, but we are coming for you, and we want Ugandans to drive brand new vehicles, 0 mileage and current year at an affordable price.
The national broadcaster reaffirmed its commitment to serving Ugandans with accurate, timely and reliable information during the election period.
As UBC, we are very much prepared to cover the presidential elections across the country. We have enhanced our capacity in terms of logistics, in terms of human resource. We have also, on top of that, trained our reporters across the country for both radios and TVs, the 11 radio stations across the country, so that we are able to broadcast the presidential elections, the MP elections, the local council elections to all Ugandans from all parts of Uganda. We have also enhanced on our fleet. We have more vehicles that have come in. We have procured more cameras for our reporters, and also we have given more facilitation in terms of training.
Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Step
Step into a world of excellence, comfort, and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels, and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukoto Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor.
Muzukuramu kumandika na teranga nyingiro ne banafa ba MTN wanji MTN walalo MTN gamachi to get the power to win njagalo funeli yanyi nyo funeli yanyi okuwangula ogenda kuwangula ocha ngenda kubanga babukade 10 buli wiki wanji ngenda kubanga kwasa obukade 10 buli wiki kusimu yeye nyinyi chabonka chimuchoka line ya MTN banabeka buli ogenda okusasula ekintu kyonna ogenda okusasula ndakwese momo obulira buli ogenda okusasula ngwena kyosasula kyonna kozesa momo oyinza okulanga ngenda kwewola kasente kozesa momo wanje ogenda kuinvestinga kozesa momo abwe mteli we jamani nekwa bukade 10 buli wiki wala kastelio bimala bwe pa wentandika ngamba kyekiriwo wanje nenkwata ku masimu ngamba halo walirudawa tenze tirinyi halo walirudawa zende guru halo walirudawa ndi mutukula halo oliwa ndi mwanange ndi wano mu office ntode nyiga ma computer nenkuta awa namwe kasena benesi okubelanga mwana wote koze bitu namanga epeyinze ebolowinze investinze ngekozesa momo. Remember to dial *165# or use the Momo app to borrow, to pay, to invest, and you could stand a chance to win 10 million weekly.
When you want to relax your body and refresh your mind, welcome to Hotel La Confidential, Aroa's premier destination for luxury and comfort. The only hotel in Aroa City offering a serene atmosphere, breathtaking scenery. Come and discover our exclusive wellness club with packages that include a fully equipped gym, a rejuvenating sauna, steam bath, and a great sky blue swimming pool. For events, our state-of-art conference halls and versatile event spaces are perfect for hosting shows, wedding receptions, birthdays, and more. Come and enjoy our cinema hall and unisex saloon, all designed to meet your entertainment and grooming needs. Bring your family and let your kids splash around in our beautiful kids water park. We are located on Aroa Pakwachi Highway in the heart of Aroa City. Don't wait. Visit us on www.hotelconfidential.com or call us on 0761 688 181.
Sports news tonight. Hoima International Stadium is at 95% completion. The playing field, the artificial turf, the swimming pool, the stand and dressing room are all ready and complete. This is the manifestation of the fulfillment of President Yoweri Museveni towards the development of sports in the country. The stadium is in line to host the upcoming Africa Cup of Nations tournament of 2027. That brings us to the end of all we had for you at this particular moment. Of course, we'll be back at 10 p.m. with another arrangement. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Micheal Jordan Lukomwa with Elizabeth Nakakon and the whole team. Let's catch you then.
PDM, changing lives.